me. The title of my message is Why Me? And yeah, it's a good one. It's why me. We always look at life, as when something bad happens or it's not going the right way or something's tragic or something takes place in your life and you say, why me? What are you doing this to me for? Why are you picking on me, God? Have you ever asked yourself that? So how come this happens to me? And we don't ever really get it. Now sometimes it's just we're not living for God, we're living for the world, living for ourselves, and the decisions we make and the things we do have a consequence, and that's why me, because of what you did. Okay? I'm talking to you now. But if you're in Christ and He's in you and you're serving Him and you're loving Him and you're trusting Him and everything goes haywire and goes south, you're going to go, why me, oh God? You're going to ask Him that. Now, most people that don't serve God and just live the way they want to, they're discouraged, they're aggravated, and they're frustrated at God. It's amazing. I'll step on your toes a minute because you live life the way you wanted to and you're saying, why am I having to go through this? They're the decisions you made because you're living for yourself. They just tell you that up front. But there's something else that comes in this is why me to us Christians, to us that serve with God and love Him with all our heart, and we're doing things happen. And they go south, and they go haywire, and it just doesn't seem right. And all of a sudden we're asking ourselves, why me? So this is what this message is about. I'm going to tell you right now, this is about Thanksgiving. That's what we're celebrating. Or some of you are suffering through it. Sometimes some of you go into a family for Thanksgiving dinner, and that family you're going to sit down with, you're really suffering through it. Anybody got that with me? Anybody there? Yeah. You know what you're talking about? Well, Pastor, we suffer through it. Yeah, well, families got things you have to suffer through. I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm not going to go there. Luke 22:19 says this. This is what Jesus does here at the Last Supper. He took bread and gave thanks and broke it. And I really thought about that a moment. He said he took the bread and he breaks it, but down here in a little bit he says something different. But he breaks that bread and he gives thanks for it. He's thanking God for the miracle of the bread. Let me tell you, do you give thanks to God for the miracle of just every day getting up and having an opportunity to eat? Because it is a miracle. It's a miracle that the seed falls into the ground and the right amount of rain, the right amount of sunshine, the right amount of weather, the right amount of temperature gets on that thing and it grows and it produces a fruit. And it's a miracle that it turns into something that's edible that keeps us alive and sustains us. It's a miracle that we get to eat and live in this world. It's such a delicate balance. And it's all a miracle. And Jesus is breaking His bread and it's a miracle. But He's giving thanks for it because He's grateful. He's glad that He has it to eat. He's glad for something else here in a minute. His mindset. And your mindset tonight is what we think about and the way we view life and the way we view the things that happens to us has to be, I'm looking at this situation, I'm giving thanks no matter what's going to take place in my life and how it's happening because I'm grateful I'm here. I got up this morning, I was breathing. I was able to walk and I'm able to stand up here. I'm grateful for that. The young man, Doug's kinfolk, his brother-in-law got up, didn't get up this morning. He's no longer breathing. Mercy. You're grateful, you got to be grateful that you got up, you're here. And that you're alive, and that you're kicking this morning because as long as we are, we got breath, we got opportunity, we got hope. It's the way we look at life. Jesus was breaking that bread and the next words come out of His mouth were this. This is my body which I give for you. I want you to give this moment of thought. He breaks the bread, He gives thanks for this bread, and He actually knows the suffering He's about to go through. He knows this is my body that's going to be broken. It's going to be hanging on that cross just for you and I. And He's giving thanks for the opportunity to die and suffer for me and you. He's actually giving thanks that God, you're going to use me to suffer and go through all this pain and this misery that I might make a difference, that I might save this world, that I might be the salvation of mankind. He's giving thanks for the opportunity to suffer. Wow, that's a different way of looking at it, isn't it? Giving thanks for the opportunity to go through something this morning. He's grateful for the miracle. I'm grateful for the miracle of life. How about you this morning? It's a miracle that we're here. We're still standing here. Some of you, it's a miracle that you survived through what you've been through. A miracle you weren't killed. A miracle that God healed your body, raised you up. It's a huge miracle that takes place every day in our lives, and we just don't even start. We look at the small things and we let it rob us of all the joy of this life and all the peace that we should have. We look at this world and look at the frustrations and aspirations and things we're going through, and it sucks all the life out of us, and we become gripey, miserable, complaining, and we lose the thanksgiving in our heart. Because we're not focused right, our mind's not set up on the right direction. We're not thanking God, you've given this opportunity. You're giving me an opportunity to go through this, God. Why? Because I know I'm trusting you, and you're going to make something good out of what I'm going through this morning. You're going to make something wonderful out of this life, out of this tragedy, out of this hopelessness, out of this despair that I found myself in, because I'm trusting you, and you're going to make something great. And this is what Jesus is doing here when he breaks us. He knows exactly what he's about to go through, and he's giving thanks for all of it, because this is his body. I thank you for this body that's about to be broken and tortured and tormented and all for you and I. Thanks God for the opportunity. And man, I really do. I was standing up this morning worshiping the Lord, and I said, God, I thank you for the opportunity to even be able to speak this message this morning, because I'm just as guilty as anybody else about just taking everything for granted. Getting complacent, griping about it. Ephesians 5 says this: speak to everyone in psalms and hymns, spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. Listen to this: giving thanks always for all things, Paul says. To God the Father, his name of our, to God the Father, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Giving thanks always for all things, Paul says. I'm going to make songs, I'm going to make hymns, I'm going to make melodies to each other people. I'm going to be a joyful noise unto you and I and those around me. And I'm giving thanks for all things that are coming my way and that are happening in my life. I'm going to give thanks for these things that are happening. And we go back in history and we look at things that took place in your life, and the times that you grappled and you asked, why me, oh God? I can look back at the tragedies that I went through, the first church I had and how they ate my lunch. I look back and I said, thank you for that opportunity in that first church, how these people did what they did to me, because I would never be able to pastor this church if I didn't go through that. I learned the lessons that were valuable to me through my hardship. You see, through a very difficult time, you can take irritable bitterness and strife out of those different times, or you can take valuable lessons from what you go through and you can apply them to the rest of your life, and it pulls you through the rest of life. Because let's face it, guys, without pain, you're not going to know, without pain and suffering, you're not going to know peace. Really. Really not going to do it. Without pain, you're not going to know pleasure. How would you know pleasure if you didn't go through something that was difficult? Without evil and bad, how would you know good? So you got to experience those things in life to understand what the other side even is. Really. You ever stop and really give that really a good thought? If I didn't know what evil was, and I didn't know how bad things were, how would I know the good? If you take a child and you tell them that's hot, that don't mean nothing to them until they put their finger to it. And then they find out, yeah, that's what hot is, it brings pain. So that word's not good. That's how simple we are, really, and that's how simple our minds are. And that's what God looks at us as little kids, and He looks at us, well, if I don't let them go through this, if I don't let them suffer through this, then they're not going to understand what this is all about over here. They're not even going to appreciate what they're going through now. You're not going to appreciate how good you got it until you go through the bad. You with me? Some of you aren't. Some of you aren't as I'll get at it. So you say, well, Pastor, I don't get it, because I don't like bad. I don't see why God would make me go through all this, and why would He let me have this happen to me and all this. And you know what? You don't know what it's going to take for you to get to heaven. I look at somebody that's suffering and going through things, laying in the hospital, and they're going through horrible, and somebody look at me, and I know that person hasn't been saved, they wasn't living for God, their whole life have done what they wanted to, and here they are, they're going through this, and why would God allow my loved one to go through that? Yeah, maybe that's what it's going to take to get into heaven, and that's worth it. Maybe that's what it's going to take to break their pride and their hope, and just lift their heart out to God and say, here I am, God, I'm trusting you at the end of their life. You don't know. You see, we think we know what it takes, but God does. We don't. We don't know what suffering brings sometimes, and we can't be thankful for it in our own lives. But let me tell you something: if you're in Christ, suffering can be a wonderful thing because there's always going to be good on the other end of it.
That's true.
There's always going to be good on the other end of it. I'll say that one more time. When you go through something and you're still through suffering, you go through pain and tragedy in your life, or you're going through a hardship, if you're in Christ, there's something wonderful down the road. Just right around the corner. Something great is going to happen. Well, Pastor, it's hard for me to believe. I said, I'm going to tell you, if you believe this, what the Scripture says here in a moment, you'll believe it. Romans 8 says this: we know that all things work together for the good of those who love God. If I'm loving Him with all my heart, and He's my God, and I'm in Him, and He's in me, and my life belongs to Him, what I'm going through is going to work out for the good no matter what it is. What tragedy, what hardship, what it might be, I'm trusting God and His love and His mercy, and it's going to come out good. That's what the Word says, and that's what's happened. That's my experience in life also for myself. It always has. It's always come out wonderful. God, if you don't love Him with all your heart, though, and you're holding back pieces of your life and holding back pieces of your heart for yourself, and you're living life the way you want to and how you chose to live it, I guarantee you when hardship comes, you're not going to understand it. God's going to try to get your attention and get all your heart to Him. So why? So you'll trust Him. Because if you hold back part of yourself, you know why you have fear in areas? Wherever you're fearing at, you're not trusting God. I'm going to say that one more time. Where you're fearing and you're tormented by what the area in your life and your heart that you have a fear over, you're not trusting God in that area. If it's finances, if it's health, or wherever it might be going on, whatever you're fearful of, whatever grips your heart and brings fear into your life, you're not trusting God for it. Because why? Because somewhere down in your heart, you just really don't believe God cares and He's going to take care of it. You're not living all the way for Him, maybe. Maybe your heart doesn't totally belong to Him. But when you turn loose and you give it all to Him, oh, my word, the peace, the thanksgiving you have, knowing, what, I'll go through this, but I'm going to come out the other side. It's going to be good. God's got something wonderful planned. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be great. Psalm says this in Psalm 107. He says, oh, thanks to the Lord, for He is good, for His mercies endure forever. I'm going to give thanks to the Lord, for He's good, and His mercies endure forever. I'm going to cry out for mercy. I'm going to cry out for the grace of God. In 1632, there was I'll go back to history. I love history. Remember that? 1632, all of Europe was engulfed for a war that lasted 30 years. Well, you don't know that. You don't need European history. But there was a war that went on for 30 years and pretty well shapes Europe as the way it is now. There was a German preacher that had a huge church in Germany. And in 1 year, he lost 5,000. 1 year, 15 a day out of his congregation ended up dying during this war. 15 a day. He's going through the widows and going through all the hardships and trials of all these families. He's losing 15 a day, and it's tragic. So let me note down what it says here on this whole thing. He sits down, he's going through right in the middle of all this, and he pens this. And this is going to read a little funny because this is written back in 1600, so I'm going to do the best I can with it. Thanks we all are God. In other words, we thank God for all. With our hearts, our hands, and our voices, he writes. Who wondrous things hast thou done, in whom the world rejoices, who formed our mother's arms, has led us on our way, with countless gifts of love, and still is ours today. Wow. Countless gifts of love God's given us. Right in the middle of all this. Right in the middle of 15 a day on average. He writes this down. This is a man that understands that Thanksgiving comes from Thanksgiving and the love comes from the love of God and not your circumstance. Your thankfulness, your compassion, the love that you have for Him, the time that you can sit down and you can give thanks to God for life doesn't come out of the circumstance you're in. It comes out your heart and your love towards God and His love towards you and I. You see, if I don't love Him with all my heart, and if I don't think He loves me with all His heart, and I don't understand that He does love me with all the heart, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to understand it. I'm going to lose out on this whole thing. If I don't believe God loves me with all His heart, His mind, His body, and His soul, which He says He does, He loved me, He gave His only begotten Son, He laid down His life for me, if I don't believe that He loves me with that compassion that I can't even understand, which He does, and I don't believe that with all my heart, and I don't return that love, and I hold back parts of my life for myself, I'm not going to understand. I'm not going to give thanks for when the tragedy comes. I'm not going to be thankful when whatever comes my way. I'm going to give thanks to God because something good is going to come out of it. All things I want to give thanks. Now Paul does this on the scripture. Paul gets to it here in a moment. Turn to what Paul does. Paul writes this in 1 Thessalonians 5. Pray without ceasing. Everyone give thanks. For this is the will of God in Jesus Christ for you. So Paul writes down, give thanks for everything. Without ceasing, pray. And everything, give thanks. No matter what it is, he gives thanks. Now, well, Pastor, how can Paul, you write this back thousands of years ago. Look at Paul here in a moment. Things that happened to him. 5 times while Paul was going out and ministering, 5 times he was beaten with stripes, 40 times minus 1. 39 times they beat him with a whip, 5 different occasions in his ministry. And he's giving thanks for that. What he's saying. I give thanks to God for all things. 3 times he was beaten with rods. 1 time he was stoned to the point of death. He thought he did die and went to heaven. 3 times he was shipwrecked. 1 time he bobbed around in the water night and day all night long until he was ready to rescue to come to land. After any one of the shipwrecks. He's given thanks for all things. Giving thanks to Christ. He was in perils of robbers. The Jews were out to kill him. The Gentiles wanted to seek him. Wild animals in the wilderness on his journey wanted to kill him. And he had false brethren that wanted to devour him. Whew. Give thanks to all. You think you got it bad. And all he was doing was sharing the truth to life. All he was doing was going around and telling people the truth. And this is how God can save you and give you life and you have a life more of it. All these wonderful gifts, all this power of God is at your disposal. And that's all he was sharing. Was the truth with people. And what they do, they try to kill him, crucify him, and beat him to death. And end up beheading him. It's Paul. And he said, I'm giving thanks to all. Wow. So you're sitting there this morning and you're in your misery, or you might be going through something, or you might be hating God for something, or you're mad at Him. I'm going to tell you right now, you give thanks right where you're at, and you watch God turn it around. You know what the best time to worship God is? Right in the middle when you don't want to. Yeah. Right in the middle when you don't feel nothing, you don't like Him, you might even have anger at Him, you might have something going on that you're frustrated and aggravated about, and maybe everybody else has the best time to throw their arms up and say, I don't care, God loves me and I love Him, I'm worshiping Him, and it's all going to turn around for wonderful good. And begin to worship Him and give Him praise, and you find that thing just lifting right off of you. Whatever that is, will just lift right off of your spirit and off of you. Whatever's going on, you can feel it just lift off of you, physically. And that's the best time to do it. Instead of being complaining and griping. Fear and anxiety's flipping force is this. Be anxious for nothing, but everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God, whose peace of God, which passes all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind through Christ Jesus. In other words, when I go to pray, it's an act of worship, but I give thanksgiving. I'm going to begin to thank God for what's going on in my life. I'm going to begin to thank God for what He's about to do. If you ever listen to me pray, if you ever pay attention to my prayer, I say, I thank you, Father, for what you're about to do. I don't know what it is. It could be my last day on this earth. It could be my wife's last day. It could be my child. I don't know what God's got planned out. I don't know what's happening tomorrow. But I'm going to give Him thanks for it because I know it's going to turn out for the good. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I'm giving thanks for it. I don't know what our government will do tomorrow, but I'm going to give thanks for what tomorrow's got to hold because I don't trust in them. I don't put my hope in that. I don't put my hope in my bank account. I don't put my hope in other people. I put my hope in God. Amen. I put my trust there. So I can thank Him and be assured no matter what it is, it's going to turn around for the good. And something good's going to happen out of it. If I just stay steadfast in it and I stand in it and I keep going, it's going to be one. So I'm going to pray with thanksgiving in the heart. I'm going to make my request known with thanks. Thank you, God, for doing this for me. Thank you, God, for moving in my life. Thank you, God, for healing me before you even see the healing coming. Thank you, God, for saving my lost loved one. Thank you, God, for delivering my friend that's in drugs. God, thank you for all this. I don't have to see it. I can just believe it, and I can pray it, and I can give thanksgiving for it. Amen. We always pray, and we all, oh, well, God, if you'll do this, if you'll do that. No. It's the Word of God. It's God's plan for life. You thank Him for it. I'm going to tell you, when you're praying for somebody that's not saved, or somebody that's on drugs or alcohol or something, it's God's will for that person to be saved and set free and delivered. Amen. You know that? So therefore, when I go to pray for your loved one that's an alcoholic or doing drugs or whatever, I can give thank you, God, for delivering that person and setting them free. Thank you for healing them and bringing them to you and salvation coming in their life. Thank you, Lord, for that. Because we're praying that, God, that's your will in their life. That's what your plan is for every human being. For them to come to know the truth and to be saved. So on Thanksgiving, I can pray for people to be saved and be happy about it. Wow. It looked hard out there this morning. I want to weep. Yeah. Corinthians 4. Continue earnestly in prayer, being vigilant in it with thanksgiving. Of course, I'm going to continue earnestly in prayer. Paul talks about it too. He said, pray without ceasing. Give thanks. Be earnest in it. When you pray, get up in the morning, giving thanks, God, for this day. Thank you for what you're about to do this day in my life. Thank you for letting me breathe this day. Thank you for the bread you're about to give me, oh God, because it's a miracle that I even get to be here. It's a miracle you already sat here this morning. You know, I come to the conclusion, maybe a little bit of traveling I get to do, and I don't do that much. I've seen more wrecks than shake a stick out here lately. And you know what? That could be you and I. I can give thanks to God. Thanks to God. I'm not saying the person that happened to wasn't thanking God or whatever it might be. I just thank God He put His hands up around me and keeps me. And if I do get a wreck, I want to thank God because something good's going to come out of that mess. I may get to witness to a nurse or a doctor or whatever it might be. So I'm going to give thanks no matter what happens tomorrow or down the road. But I'm just thanking God that it's a miracle that you're here. Some aren't. Some people a lot made choices this morning to lay in bed. A lot of people made choices to not turn their back on God and not serve Him. A lot of people made a lot of different choices in this church. You know, if you get all of them here, it's pretty full. But they make choices this morning not to be here. It's something more important in their life. And that's sad. Because there's nothing more important. Because we find that God is the source of life. You think other people make you happy. My wife does not make me happy. No. She will not. Your husband's not going to make you happy, ladies. They're not going to do it. Your children aren't going to make you happy. You're going to want a woman. I brought you in this world, I'll take you out, kid. And that comes today. You know? These things don't make you happy, but God makes you happy. The joy of the Lord is your strength. He's where you find your life from. He's where you find the source of living this life and having joy and living it. He's the one that's going to bring thanksgiving to your heart and gratification and salvation and joy in your life. He's the one that you have to look for your joy in life. Because if you're looking anywhere else, you're not going to find it. Yeah. I got news for you. You're just not going to get it. Yes, Mama's going to take you out, Jason, one day. I think Mom, I couldn't pass that one up. Jeremiah 1:5 says this, and I'm going to end here. It's going to be a short sermon this morning. Before I found you, I formed you. I read this right. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you and ordained you a prophet to the nations. He's talking to Jeremiah here. He tells Jeremiah this, but I'm going to tell you the same for you and I. Before you were, He knew you. And He's called you to do something upon this earth. He's called you to fulfill some part of a life upon this earth. Each one of you. You think you're living it your way. Okay? Some of you have been. I lived it 30 years my way. I did what I wanted. I achieved what I wanted to achieve. I got what I wanted to get. And at the end of all that 30 years, I found out I had nothing. I was miserable, I was dying and sad, and I was a miserable individual, but I had everything the world says success was. But when I found him, I found life. And he for me, he said, I called you to do something greater than just work and get money and eat and buy things. Can I be truthful with you? It's called you more than just to eat, work, and buy things. It's called you to be an impact on other lives and come to know the truth, and that's in Christ. To come to know the Holy Spirit and have an intimate relationship with Him. That's what He's called you to do. He's called you to give thanks for the very breath that you breathe because He gives it to you. I'm going to preach a little bit, you don't mind, do you?
Come on.
Feel it coming on.
Preach on.
Here we are, we murmur, we complain, we struggle through life, we gripe, and we do all this stuff, and we're not giving thanks for the very things that He's already given us. If you're not satisfied in what you got, you're not going to get any more because you'll just drop about in. That's the truth. Why would He give you $1 million if you're complaining about the 500 you got? It ain't enough. The million ain't going to be enough when you get in. All right. The house is just falling down around my ears. You've got to complain about it the whole time. You're never satisfied with what you had. Why would I give you a better one? Because you're going to grab, it's going to fall down around your ears one day too, and you're going to drop and complain about it. Get up, fix it up. Be happy that you got it, that you're joyful in it. Take care of what you got, and God will bless you with more. If you're not faithful in the few things that He gives you, He says He will give you no more. You know, it goes back to that parable, that little parable where He gives one a talent, another one 2, another one 3. Is that right? Or something like that. I messed up. I didn't look at it recently. It's just coming on my brain. Some people believe that's actually abilities. Some people believe it's actually finances, money. It can be either. I can be either. To me, some of you give me a talent and abilities to do things, and you set on them and you do it for yourself. I'm going to take, for instance, singers, musicians. They go out and they sing for the world, try to make millions of dollars. They all get drunk. They have to take pills to go to bed. They have to take pills to get up. Their life is miserable. They're making their $1 million. They're singing for the world. They think they're famous. They got to hide from the public. Very people that they want to love. And the whole time they were called to come and lead worship or be part of a service somewhere to usher in the presence of God, that lives might be changed. That's why they're miserable. If they were where they're supposed to be, they'd have to be full of joy and happiness, and they would love people, and they would want to be around them instead of run from them. Amen. Wow. Interesting thought, ain't it? So you and I, here we are, we're called to do a purpose that's greater than what we think, and we're not fulfilling our purpose because we're too busy with our own lives being miserable in it. But if I get happy where I'm at, and I get full of God, and I get full of joy, He's going to direct my path. He's going to open the door. He's going to lead me into the people I'm supposed to impact. And when I impact other lives, I'm going to find out that's what joy is about. You know, when I told people that I suffer from depression, I look at them and I say, you're going to make a difference in someone else's life. Get your mind off your woes and your troubles, and you start impacting somebody else's life, and you're going to find out what life is all about. You know what makes me happy? It makes me full of joy. I just feel my spirit rise up and get excited when I'm inside of somebody. It's happened a lot here lately to me. People from way past back when I preached contacted me and said, man, you made a bigger difference in our life than I know. And man, I get excited. I said I did. I might not know it at the time. I might not hear from out of their mouth the whole time I ministered to them. But when they call me years later and they call back and said, you know, you made a huge difference in my life. I said, I did what I was called to do. Yes. I fulfilled it. I got it, God. I did make a difference. Yes. Church, some of you are making a huge difference, but you're wearing out, you're wearing down, and you're just saying, well, I'm not really making any difference. You don't look at today. You don't look at right now and where you're at, but you look at the future and the things that you're going to do and accomplish in their life in the future. Because what you do now will impact the rest of their lives. Goodness gracious. Some of you young people are going to go, well, I want to do this. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a this or that. I want to be doing this. Did you ever bother to ask God, what do you want me to do? What would you like me to do, God? What have you called me to do in my life? It may not be preaching. It may cause you to be a millionaire somewhere, get on fire for God, and end up giving huge amounts of money to missionaries or whatever it might be to impact thousands of lives. That may be your calling. But you're going to end up doing what you want to do, or ride a bull, drive a race car, become a nurse, or whatever it might be. Because that's what you think you want to do. And you never bothered to ask God. He said, I had a whole better plan for you. I had this whole direction, this whole life laid out for you, and it was great, it was wonderful. And you were going to impact millions of lives, and you were going to be very wealthy, but you wanted it your way. So we gave it your way. You know, most millionaires, multi-billionaires really don't have that much education. You know that? Most of them do not. Most of them just get God's principles just right, or God called them to do it just right. Most Christian millionaires and billionaires will tell you right up front, every door open, every door shut, and they walked right through it and they kept going. You know, everybody that ever accomplished anything had huge amounts of failure. Everybody that ever did anything for God had huge amounts of failure in their life. Look at Lincoln. And he failed more than he succeeded. I don't know how the guy got elected president. He didn't get voted back in the Senate. I don't think he got booted out of that. He got voted every time he'd run for something, it failed. Every business he tried went bankrupt. And he became the president of the United States and impacted this country greater than any other. Look at that. All those guys that experimented at Edison, all those guys that failed more than they ever succeeded with all their experiments. But all you got to do is get that one door and walk through it at the right time and be God's door, and you'll impact and you'll do more than in your short life than you can ever imagine. But you can live it your way and have it your way and live a miserable, fearful, doubtful, horrible existence. Pretty bad, Pastor, saying that. Yeah, I'm telling you the truth because I was there. But when I walked through that door God had for me, I found life, and I found life more abundant. I found joy, I found peace, I found hope, I found endurance, I found strength, I found everything the world seeks for. And I'll get this with you. I don't have to take a pill to get up. I don't have to take a pill to go to bed. I don't have to take a pill for anything, actually. Vitamin, by the grace of God, except for vitamins. That's because I don't eat right. Don't fall. Bless you, Rick. Some of you this morning, you're complaining, you've been grappling, you're just saying, why me? Why have you done this in my life? Why have I had to go through this? Why am I suffering? Why don't you take that suffering and what you're going through and turn around and say, God, what have you got for me in this whole thing? God, I want to trust you. And you know what? Maybe the fact that you never surrendered your whole heart and your life to God, you may never give him your life and say, here's my life, God, do something with it. At 30 years old, I did that. I said, here's my life. What's your plan for me? He changed the plan and the course of my life, which I'm very grateful he did. It took a long process. It wasn't like, Pastor, I was who I was. It was years that God molded and shaped me through the ministry. I guess it was 14, 15 years that God shaped and molded me in different types of ministry before I became a minister and held a microphone. Through education, through experiences, through all that stuff. So it's not an easy road, it's not a short road. Do whatever he's got you called to do, but it is very well worth it because you'll make a difference in other lives. You'll make a huge difference. You'll never be rich, unless you're one of these guys. I'm not going to go there. You'll never be wealthy, except in heaven. See, all my treasure and all my money, everything I've got is laid up in heaven. All those souls, all those lives, all those things that I sacrificed is in heaven. I left a beautiful home that I built. They said I get one in heaven. Scripture tells me I do. I can't wait till I see my house in heaven. I don't know, I'm trying to think why I need one for, because the house is a shelter and I don't think there's any rain in heaven. I'm just thinking to myself, why do you need a roof over your head? It's going to get colder. I don't know, that's kind of an odd thought to me. You might not even need a roof on it. I don't know. Stand with me this morning.